everybody, it's Tiffany Spalding from Totally Tiffany, and I'm here today to help you get your markers organized. The most important thing about organizing your markers is creating a catalog and using every tip of every marker that you own to record what colors you own in the color catalog for two reasons. One, you'll always know exactly what markers you have, and two, you'll find out anyway, which markers you own that are dried up and useless, and then you can throw them away instead of having them taking up that precious space on your desktop. So the big challenge is, how do you actually catalog your colors? And when I say your colors, I'm talking about any types of markers, as well as inks, chalks, gel pens, Nuvo drops, anything like that that's a color. You want to know what you have, and most of all, you really want to know what that color looks like when you actually use it on paper. The easiest way to do that is to use these little grids that we call Hue color grids, and there are a couple of different ones. There's going to be a PDF download in the text below this class, so you can download your own. Just a couple of examples. So this is a red. It's got all my reds and pinks, and you can see I've just put an example of each of the pens, of the glitter glues, of the Nuvo drops, and labeled what it is and where I can find it, where I have it stored. So that's what all the little notes are on the side. So if I want to use this orange Nuvo drop, I know exactly where to go to get it, right? But this grid tells me everything about what the colors are, because you know the color in the marker at the tip of the marker, or how something looks in the bottle, is not necessarily how it's really going to end up on your page. This is going to tell you that. You know what else it's going to tell you? It's going to tell you which products are great, which products you love working with. This is going to force you to try everything that you own. And you can see some of these, the color runs out underneath the glitter and it doesn't look that good. And it's going to do that on your project. So you want to know that before you put it on a project. So this is a great way to catalog all of your colors doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. The manufacturers also do their own color charts. So here's one from papercrafters, but the squares are so small, it's really hard to draw in them and to get a good sense of color. So you've also got a download of a pen grid like this. And one thing I didn't talk about, I'm going to backtrack here to my pink grid, red and pink grid, is you can see that there's holes. I've punched holes in these. I did that by there's a fold line on there. I folded the line and then I just took my regular hole punch and I punched holes in it. Why did I do that? Because I want to be able to match up those colors with whatever cardstock it is that I'm using to get a perfect match. So if I put a piece of cardstock underneath that I'm trying to match up, I can see what that color glitter glue Nuvo drop ink is going to look like with that piece of cardstock. So that's why the holes are punched in them. This one I punched a little bit bigger hole, right? So even easier. These are mostly inks and paints, and this is all just Tim Holtz stuff. So I have by color, I have by designer, I have this one for Copic markers, that's by actual brand of marker. So you can create a couple of different catalogs that are going to tell you what you own, who it's made by, where to find it, and then what color it is and what it looks like what it's going to look like when you put it on something else, or how to match it to something else. So these are called Hue color charts, and you'll be able to download them. You can also download similar things from other manufacturers, right? This is a Memento ink guide. So if you have Memento inks and you want to make sure you have all of them, this is a good way to know what you've got. And then you're able to choose the ones that you don't have instead of buying duplicates. Okay, so now let's talk about storing your inks or your pens or your glitter glues or whatever it is. So there's a couple things that you want to keep in mind. The first thing is, what kind of crafter are you? Where do you craft? When do you craft? Who do you craft with? All of these things are going to determine the best storage tools for you. If you're someone who always crafts at home, you never go anywhere else, you don't even go out to the couch and craft in front of the TV or go to the dining room. You always craft in your craft room. Then choosing products like Handmade, which this is a Handmade. It's the 15-inch pen and ink palace. But this product puts all of your pens and inks right out at your fingertips. It keeps everything flat. It's visible. It's accessible. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels. And you can see my double tipped markers here. They're, like I said, visible and accessible. One of the nicest things about this product is that if you already own this many of these markers and you're trying to keep them in color order, if you have a marker case that's completely segmented, so every marker has its own spot, and you want to put a new marker in and put it in color order, you have to literally move every single marker in that case because they're one per each spot, right? But because there's no dividers here, it doesn't matter what size, what brand, or what you already own, you can just slide them over and put that right back in order where it belongs when you buy a new marker. So super simple to add new markers to your collection. So this is the 15-inch desk-made pen and ink palace, and then it also comes in a smaller version. So if you're not as big of pen junkie, but you always work at home, or ink pad junkie, but you always work at home, then the 9-inch is an option for you as well. So 2 great options for organizing your markers at home for easy access. If you're someone who travels with markers and you have long markers like Tombo's, this is the Terry Buddy bag. She's going to hold dozens of markers and long skinny markers, tall girls. And then this is the Deborah Buddy bag. And Deborah, you can see she's a little bit shorter, but we love her anyway. So shorter markers. What's unique about these particular bags? Well, first of all, they can be stored this way. So if you have double tip markers and you want to keep them flat, you can just store that bag flat. When you're at an event or when you're working at home, at your dining room, at the coffee table, in the TV room, you can just roll the lid back of the Deborah or the Terry bag, and now you've got a pen holder that you can pull things in and out of while you're working, and then when you're ready to put her away, you're just going to close the flaps back up, throw her in your tote, put her on the shelf for storage. So if you're somebody who moves around your house or goes to crafting events, buddy bags are an awesome storage solution. If you're a marker junkie for Spectrum Noir markers, this is the Denise buddy bag. So again, storing Denise this way, but when you're using it, you're going to use it this way. Denise has 3 of these little clear plastic boxes inside. And that's why the markers all stand up, why they don't tip over even though there's so many, because of the 3 separate little boxes that are in the inside. So it's visible and it's accessible, and your markers are going to stay standing up, and it'll work with all kinds of markers that are this height, right? So literally probably 90, 110, depending on the width of the markers, you're going to be able to put in the Denise bag. You're going to store her this way. You're going to drop her into your tote, take her to the event, use what you need, and then take it back home and put it right back on the shelf. Fast and easy, right? You're going to be able to know what colors you have because you've graphed or charted all of your colors on your Pikachu color chart. And that's it. Marker storage made simple. Marker storage to go, marker storage for your desktop. What kind of crafter are you? That is going to determine which marker storage works best for you. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message.